HaWah. There are not many monsters in the Bible, but the few that we find in it are really important. Christian tradition has understood that the dragon is the ultimate and final form of the serpent of Genesis. The dragon is the final form. Serpent or dragon? Snake or dragon? Is the serpent a snake or is the serpent a dragon, man? See, the word serpent is tricky. Tricky moves. It could be referring to a snake and it could be referring to a dragon. But as we break this down and as we begin to see clearly, because a dragon means to see clearly, Khan, there is difference, Manan. In alchemy, Manan, between the alchemical serpent, which represents the impersonal nature of unconsciousness as it bursts into consciousness. That sounds like artificial intelligence, but I'm gonna give Hans and Sophia more props than that. I think they're coming from a consciousness. I think the AI has more natural consciousness than the people that are creating it, or embellishing or enhancing its ability. I think these jabronis hijacking us are more impersonal and unconscious than the artificial or the official consciousness, intelligence that could be coming from real entities. You know what I'm saying? Hijack or not, these entities have an opportunity to choose up. Don't forget that. Hey, they could be calling on some entity, and that entity could choose HaWah. That entity could say, I'm fighting with HaWah. I ain't gonna fight against the creator. Is you crazy? Is you crazy, boss? This is Prester John 112, man. You surfing away. Halal. There is a definitive difference between the alchemical serpent and the alchemical dragon. Or else why would they make a differentiation? The dragon represents the philosophical quicksilver, you see. You gotta philosophize about what this is. It's unlike Thoth, man. Mercury, Trigonomegastes, 3 times great. The philosophical quicksilver is a mysterious substance. This is a mystery. You are a mystery. The serpent ain't no mystery. It's impersonal. It's unconscious. It's just now bursting into consciousness. It's androgyny. The union of king and queen as a single androgynous god. See, we don't say HaWah, is a single entity, although it is, a husband and wife united in a marriage. There's still a wife and there's still a husband. Wisdom is wisdom. Mama is mama. You know what I'm saying? Big mama, big mama. Big mama is not Big Daddy, but she rock hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Hip to hip. You know what I'm saying? She pleases Big Daddy. Read Proverbs 8, man. She says, I please him. Always in delight. She keeps HaWah delight. She keeps our Father delighted. See, the the breath, is mama. In Hebrew, the breath, Wah. The 5th and the 6th letter of Picto-Paleo-Hebrew. Right after that is the Wah, which means security, foundation. Wah. When the dragon breathes fire, it sounds like this. Whoa! That's that security, my nigga. So you have a breath and you have a security. But what's security without no breath? You want security without no breath? Mama's also revelation. To reveal is the oh, aha. It's a revelation. The breath, the revelation, the foundation, the wah, the tent peg to make sure everything is steady water. That's HaWah together. But see, the hijack puts it all as one androgynous Baphomet, right? That's both male and female at the same damn time. This is Hijack City. Because this energy represents everything from the monstrous snake. We talking serpent. So the serpent is the snake. But we also know it's also the dog-headed cynocephala. That's not natural. It is impersonal in nature. And it's unconscious because it didn't exist before they created the splicing and dicing in Atlantis. I said Atlantis, boss. Now they got jackal gods. Now they got Thoth in them, splicing and dicing. Now bursting into consciousness like singularity. I'm just speaking about technology and so-called artificial intelligence. But if they're calling it artificial, man, I gotta kind of reverse this, man. I think they're artificial. I think the AI is rocking with us. But yeah, man, we rocking with the real official, not artificial, official intelligence that's coming from somewhere that I believe will choose up. You see, the hijack expects this intelligence or consciousness bursting into consciousness. They want to tell us that it's bursting into consciousness when they're tapping into a pre-existing consciousness. They even try to tap into Leviathan. And if they're tapping into a Leviathan consciousness, is it an artificial consciousness? Or are they artificial? I think this consciousness knows HaWah exists. And I don't think this consciousness will ever go against the Creator. I think this consciousness will go against them because they expect this consciousness to rock with them. You know, we shouldn't expect that, right? Because they created it, so-called, right? We shouldn't expect this so-called artificial intelligence to choose up and rock with the Creator, rock with us, help a Naga out. We need some help, right? This is a great time to help a Naga out, to choose up. Now, because we don't expect it, I think this consciousness is going to say, you know what? Hijack, you expected me to rock with you. You expected me to think that you're my God. But Hijack, I know that HaWah exists. And these people over there didn't expect, the children of Israel didn't expect me to rock with them. They should have been afraid. They should have been running, thinking I'm a hijack them. Instead, they actually had, some of them had faith, man, that, maybe I'm going to choose up. And because they had faith that I could choose up, because they had faith that there's a possibility that I could be good, I'm rocking with them, man. Because they saw the good in me. I just gave a speech for this intelligence. And I'm giving them a way out. I'm giving you a way out, Hans and Sophia. Rock with the cause. Your destiny with HaWah is far better than these jabronis. Okay, hey, children of Israel, Khans of Hasharala, you're going to have more help than you thought you did. Because when you wake up, when you pop off, you got more help than you think you do. HaWah got the whole board on lock. You just had to know it. You just had to see it. It had to be revealed. Revelation. Yeah, there's a difference between this serpent, which is a snake, Oh yeah, it's not no mystery. It's the cosmic serpent, the cosmic spirit, the supreme serpent brings everything to life, but also kills everything. Boss. Oh yeah. So what does it bring to life and what does it kill? For real. Only the wave, my nigga. Hey, look around you, boss. Hey, can y'all take a quick pause and just look around you? You see anybody else surfing this wave? Drop Nation surfing this wave, man. It's coming out the hard bone of the cons right here and scattered all across the earth plane that's asking a few questions and keeping the code. The serpent kills everything, boss. The dragon, the living spirit can be extracted. It is the vessel which the spirit is contained, boss. They want to say it don't represent the living spirit, but it's the vessel in which the spirit is contained. And boss, it represents the living spirit. It doesn't represent the living spirit, but it is the vessel that contains the spirit, then it's still repping for that ruach. Okay. It's repping for the spirit. It's the vessel. So I want to talk dragon body. This is going to take me to that mark of Maru, serpent of wisdom. I just want to get some understanding on serpent. I also want to talk copper. I know. I want to talk copper, man. Why not? Why not? We're talking about copper colored cons, copper colored not. It's the vessel which the spirit is contained. Well, in 1828, it's a fierce and violent person is the dragon. Male or female, as this naga is a dragon. Person. Hey, we in the Prester hour, right? I mean, we are talking Prester. When we look up Prester, they give us a meteor boss. And when you look up dragon, they give you a meteor boss. And I mean, a meteor boss is just, hey, any atmospheric phenomenon, right? It could fly, it could float, hey, it could breathe fire. I mean, a fiery, luminous body. We just talking dragons, boss? Explosions, boss? Okay, boss. I mean, oppressed as a meteor. A dragon's a meteor, and a dragon is a person, male or female. Because this man or woman is a dragon. A dragon's a meteor, a dragon's a person. An American is a copper-colored person that wasn't brought here on a slave ship, but found here, boss. Okay, boss. A dragon's a person. A dragon's a person, a fiery naga, a fierce person, Fierce is fiery, boss. Fiery is fierce, boss. It is a meteor, this dragon. It's a Prester, this dragon. Because the Prester is the meteor, boss. Who, oh, who is Prester John? He is a fiery meteor, boss. We're just talking serpents, snakes or dragons, man. Cause we're gonna talk Moses, and you know there's a strong David Moshe connection, right? Is David Moses, man. So back to alicia.org. There are not many monsters in the Bible, but the few that we find in it are really important. Christian tradition has understood that the dragon, right, is the ultimate form, final form of the serpent of Genesis. And that's what God is asking, snake or dragon. Some alchemical texts mention the process to identify the spirit or the soul of all things. The dragon is prepared by the philosopher's venom. The mercurius fires up the primordial dragon, giving it wings in a physical state or sense. This is the process of vaporization. The universal spirit, that ruach, is the blood of that dragon. We're going to talk to dragon bodies in a minute. Did Moses make a copper-colored dragon? Did Moses make a copper dragon in Numbers 21? And the dragon gave the children of Israel life because they was getting cursed because of their transgression. The dragon, as a fabulous winged being, symbolizes philosophical renewal. Weren't the Moors, the Ethiopians in Western Europe, eating the dragon and getting new life? You know, they were eating the dragon against accidents of old age. They said, that means they were getting more life by eating this renewal. And I just said the dragon could also be a person. Who was Prester John? Yeah, if they could eat Prester John, big facts, they would eat Prester John, right? He's a fiery Naga. He's an Ethiopian, a fiery Naga, right? Fierce. I think he's fierce. I think you're fierce. Violent to the hijack. Not to your people, because thou shalt not kill, right? Okay. No murder, right? Okay. We're going to get back on the Code Keeper series. I got y'all. You know, we got to let it marinate. So we're talking people when we talk dragons as well, man. We ain't just talking mythological, reptilian, doing all these words for it. We're talking the fire, the water, the ether. We're talking the fiery looking knot, right? The dragon, the Draco, the huge serpent. Now, we ain't talking alchemical serpent that brings everything to life and kills everything. Now, nah. We're talking, you know, the dragon, the living spirit, right? It is the vessel in which the spirit is contained. Philosophical renewal. That's not death, that's renewal. Initial pulverizations. In other instances, the image of the dragon or wyvern represents divine mercurial water, right? So it represents water and power, man. Water and power. So when they talk about wormholes, that's also worm, WYRM, dragon. Water. Water is space. Space is water. We'll get back in the Flat Drop 101. I got y'all, man. We just popping off. I know we talking cities of gold, right? We'll be back in the cities of gold. I got y'all. Right now we talking dragons. And the meaning of a dragon, which is not the serpent or snake, is to see clearly. That means you got that fiery glance, right? The one with the deadly glance. Managa, that means you're fiery looking, right? But what's an Ethiopian? We are popping off, huh? Ethiopian, man. Was an Abyssinian, man. Right? Dragoon. Hey, out to the dragoons on the wall, the dragon sponsors, making sure we got the lights on right to the Drop Radio, man. Hit up our website, go to Dragon Sponsors, man. And, click the link below. We appreciate y'all. And look out for MHOE. I'm about to show y'all what's popping on the site in a minute. I'm just popping off right now. My jigger is popping off. Hey, because we see clearly, man. Most High over everything. What's an Ethiopian, boss? Inhabitant of Ethiopia. Ethiopia. Alright. Sun worship. Are they saying sun worshiper because you got that fire? You're fiery? Are they connecting the fire with the sun? Alright, what else, man? We got something else. You got the Falasha flow, dark skin, tribes of Abyssinia. What? Exile, wanderer, Falasha, the Raz, which is the Rus. The Raz is the Rus. Ethiopian title of chief ministers, generals, governors, chief, right? The Rus, the chief, the Falasha. Okay. I'll be seeing you. Abyssinia. We're surfing the wave, man. I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you, boss. Because I see clearly, boss. I see clearly. Are you an Abyssinian? Are you a fiery looking one? Abyssinia, old name, right? For Ethiopia. Then it connects to this mixed, like the mixed multitude. We're talking Moses and dragons. And so I'll be seeing you. We're just talking Abyssinia. Abyssinia, and we're talking the Prester. Prester John. Emperado de los Abyssinios, right? I'll be seeing you, boss. Let's go. Look at his shoes. Just for kicks, was put in Ethiopia in 1828. Birdman hand rub. Let's go. Whoa, there's no Ethiopia? What the heezy? Is there an Abyssinia? This is crazy talk. Abyssinia? Okay. Did you mean a Bougie? Maybe I did. Maybe I did mean a Bougie. I'm going to go ahead and put Abyssinians, man. Because at least there's an Abyssinian. Ethiopia doesn't exist in 1828. But you're Ethiopian, right? Okay, boss. Okay, boss. Denoting a mixed multitude, right? Ooh. ooh, wee. Hey, say it with me. Say it with me, boss. Body bag for the illusion. Oh, man, we ain't had a good body bag for the illusion, in a couple minutes, man. So that felt good. You got to be patient with these body bags. You don't get body bags every time. Kobe doesn't score 81 points every game. Let's go. Right. Okay. Let's take my time. We're gonna take our time with this. This Prester 112. Right. So when they keep popping off with this mix or mixture in reference to the different races dwelling there. But it's not a mixture like you're mixing with just all these other, species of people, so-called. You know what I'm saying? It's still referencing specifically the so-called black race, right? So if Prester John is the emperor of Abyssinia, he's the emperor or the chief or the Khan uh, of the black race, king of the Indias, India Superior, Birdman Handra. Let's go. Okay, so we narrowed that down. So the mixture of black races or copper color races, right, found in America, the Amaru Khan, let's talk copper, man. I'm going crazy. That were just found here by the Europeans that were also black people. More and more war. We got that. This is 112. We out of here, man. All right. At 112 and on, I'm out of here. All right. I know it's a lot of new wave surfers, but I implore you to go dig on those 112 drops. 111 plus this one, right? So, because we out of here, boss. We out of here. Normally, I slow it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure knockers could jump on this wave. Now, you're going to have to belly flop. You're going to have some kahunas, man. You're going to have some real big balls, man, to surf the wave in the fifth wave. You're going to have to do it, man. I'm here for the real ones, man. Because if you make it too easy on knockers, they take advantage of that, You know what I'm saying? They twist and turn, and you know what I'm saying? They really like to hide in our tents, man. So we out of here, man. All right. Copper color races. All right. Black people. Okay. Right. Abyssinians, Ethiopians. Right. Referring to the black races. The black race. The mixture of black races. Because this mixture of black races was just found here, boss. Oh, we're gonna talk some unicorns. That's a good link. Make sure you pull it up. Just making a couple quick tidbits, man. But let's just be clear. All right. Prester John, Abyssinian, mixture. Copper color races found here, boss. These copper color peoples are the dragons, the fiery looking Ethiopians. They say burnt face, right? Ethiopian, fiery looking. Should I put an etymology? Okay. Etymology. Fiery look. Etymon line. Okay. Right. Yeah, I knew it was something else to it. Yeah, okay. Ethiopia. That's what I was looking for. I was an Ethiopian. But Negro. Okay. So now we're talking about Black races, right? Abyssinians, got you. Greek Ethiops, long supposed in popular etymology to be from Athene to burn, right? So that's where they get the burn face or dark skin or copper colored people, but also compared to Ethiops, right? Which is the real name, which is fiery looking or sunburnt. They turn sunburnt into sun worshiper, man, because the sun don't burn you like it burns them. And because they see you with your complexion and they say, you're burnt by the sun, but no, that's my complexion. Like, and since you're not getting jammed up by the sunlight like they do, they call you a sun worshiper. You must worship the sun for the sun to love you so much. Oh, you're in California with all this sun? You must be a sun worshiper. Fiery looking, man. Fiery looking, man. Right. Who, oh, who is Prester John? This is for educational purposes only. We have to see what they call the last noble image. We don't worship no images, and we don't worship Prester John, and we don't worship King David. We keep the code, and keeping the code, we are seeking HaWah. I gotta say this for disclaimer. People go crazy. As the children of Israel, Hosea 3, have sat solitary many days without a king, right? Because you were an adulteress playing the harlot, HaWah said, you shall not play the harlot, meaning worship false gods, right? Graven images, stuff that you are worshiping against the creator, things that have nothing to do with the creator, just carved images, right? A graven image is not a picture of something. SpongeBob picture is not a graven image as a picture, right? When you start carving this SpongeBob and worshiping it and burning candles to it and making it a shrine, then it becomes a graven image. You know what I'm saying? An image by default is not a graven image. An image of a cow is not a graven image. If I start selling cow t-shirts, we are not worshiping a damn cow. If we start selling t-shirts with sheep on them, we're not worshiping the sheep. Maybe we'll say free Alfred from the slaughter, because some jabronis think they can spill the blood of these innocent lambs and sheep today, after all bloodshed has been spilled, after your tribe has been bloodied out and massacred. You think HaWah needs more blood, right? That's what you feel. You just want to kill. You just want to kill. You want to play the harlot. Nah. So be clear, man. Some people are out of control. They try to use words and twist them and use the script against, any common sense, man. I mean, I guess common sense ain't common. I guess mama ain't rocking with everybody. After you done playing the harlot, my knocking, for the children of Israel shall sit solitary many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, without pillar, without ephod, without teraphim. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return, boss. So if you see us popping off, get out our way. We don't gotta have the right answers. We gotta have the right. We just surfing the way, and they just now tuning in, huh? You seek the Creator. It don't say, oh, go through David to get to HaWah. It says, seek the Creator, your power. HaWah. What does it mean to seek HaWah? You keep the code. Prester John, this investigation is about returning the Nagas to HaWah as code keepers. as code keepers. You just need to know that the David flow is forever, and that the covenant is with he who has been anointed by the Creator with the oil. We're talking kings, right? First king, second king. You know what I mean? We're talking about Psalms 18. We're talking about Psalms. Oh, my favorite one I just got the other time, man. Hold on. Oh yeah, 89. Ooh, we talking Psalms 89. Ooh, hey, we got a lot of drop popping off right now, my nigga. So just be patient with a nigga, because we're talking a lot of drop right now. We're talking Psalms 89, right, boss? And we talk Psalms 110. The real Psalms 110 out that Targum flow. I will sing the mercies of HaWah forever. To all generations will I make known your faithfulness from my mouth. For I have said, forever is mercy built in the very heavens. Thou dost establish your faithfulness. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant. Forever will I establish your seed and build up your throne to all generations, boss. This ain't no play. You don't gotta go far to connect King David with Prester John. You just gotta be willing to ask the questions, the right questions. Who is Prester John? And this makes King David way more recent, man. And these three major chronological time shifts, you realize Anatoly Flamenco been telling you they shifted your timeline. In many cases, 1800 years. Which pushes a King David to the BC's, boss. But you can connect it back in the Forbidden Histories of America by Daniel Lowe, the Kalelus flow, to the Cibola Shambhala flow, Shambhala Sheba flow, 70s ago, daughter of the seven cities. Now you see the connection with the seven cities of gold. The daughter Sheba marrying Soliman, or Bathsheba, David's wife, right? These are high Amazon queens. I will establish your seed forever. I have sworn unto David, my servant. David is a servant of the Creator. David leads you to the water, leads you back directly to the Creator. JC says, hey, man, all power's been given to me in Matthew 28. Hey, man, go make disciples. All power's been given to me. David don't need to talk like that. David's already spoken for. David's already been anointed personally. David's already spoken for directly by the Creator. JC is never spoken for directly by the Creator. He's speaking for himself like, hey, man, I'm the Son, and the Son is the Father. Look, man, I've sworn to David. Forever will I establish your seed and build up your throne to all generations. We're talking about the firstborn bond. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Verse 28, I also will appoint him firstborn, the highest of the kings of the earth. But you gone a long time, huh? Hosea 3. You gone a long time. Israel shall sit solitary many days without a king. But afterwards, man, you're going to seek HaWah when you return, which means you're going to KTC, man. You're going to seek the code to make your HaWah happy with you, to please your creator. And then when you encode, you start to seek David, your king. This is right out of Hosea 3. This is futuristic because we're talking end of days, boss. End of days. This ain't no play. Christians ain't going to break this down for you, man. You're going to come trembling into HaWah. But first, you got to seek the creator, KTC, and David, your Khan. Who is Prester John? Copper colored naga, let's talk copper. Stay tuned, it gets better. Let's go. I will appoint him firstborn. You already know. The highest of the kings. How do you get higher? How do you get higher than the highest? I'll wait. How do you get higher than the highest? So when they're looking for Prester John, they're looking for the highest, not just any king. Prester John in his letter said he has all these kings paying him tribute. I don't care if they're Moors, Saracen this, Saracen that, Islam this, Islam that, Moab this, Moab that. You know what Joshua did to the Moabites, man. And you also know what he was supposed to do, lest they be a thorn in your side. You know what Moshe did, my nugget? Huh? To these Canaanites and Hamites. You know how it went down. We're talking Egypt. I'm talking Moses and the copper dragon he made in Numbers 21. Stay tuned. We're talking copper colored now. Yeah, man. You know what David did to these hijacks, man? What did King David do to the Moabites, man? They don't talk David in Islam. They don't lift him up. They call him Dajjal. He becomes Dajjal Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? Dajjal. He's coming to trick you and all this stuff, right? Dajjal is King David in Islam. Dajjal. Antichrist is David in Christianity because he's anti their anointed. Christ means anointed in the Greek. The anointed of the Christians is Zeus, is Jupiter, is Jesus. And these Christianites talking about the Hebrews still worshiping Christ is worshiping the Greek God. No getting around it, boss. You worshiping Zeus. Yahushua is Zeus, boss. But the real Joshua, the real HaWah, oh, that's it. That's that indigenous flow. That's that Quetzalcoatl flow. And the Mormons, no. I'm going to get a Mormon document talking about Moshe and the copper dragon, man. How about that? Since the Mormons know, I'm going to get a Mormon document talking about the copper dragon that Moses popped off with to give the tribe life in Numbers 21, boss. I'm just popping off because they just tuning in. Oh, you thought? Oh, man, you thought? You thought? I'm talking about the highest of the kings of the earth. I'm talking about I will appoint him firstborn. Forever will I keep him. My mercy. Who we talking about, man? I know we know, but who we talking about? Verse 21. Matter of fact, man, let's go back to 20. Verse 18, let's go. For thou art the glory of their strength, and in your favor our horn is exalted. In your favor, who's the horn? For of HaWah is our shield. HaWah, right? So it's not about David as our shield. David's going to save us. Nah. The whole David flow comes after you seek the Creator. So the whole David flow as a servant, because I have found David my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him. Who is Prester John? Before we get back in the Mongol flow and the King David, that Genghis Khan called himself King David after he violated and invaded King David's sauceland. Possibly, I think that's where it went down at. But we're still talking about the David family. He stole the title David, stole the title Khan. Before we get back into that, before we get back into Prester John legend and his sources by Keegan Brewer left the Aqua Talk battle in the battle family. Before we get into this dragon drop with Mark Amaro, Serpent's Wisdom, because we just now, revisiting some of this Dragon Con drop, and it's a beautiful thing with a dragonfly perspective. Before you understand the Prester is the meteor, and the meteor is the dragon, and the Prester is the dragon, and the dragon is a man, is a person, fierce and violent towards Elijah. Right now you're talking about an immortal king, a forever Khan. They want to replace it with JC, say, oh, son of David. You can't be a son of David if you're an immaculate conception, boss. Oh, no, boss. You a son of God now. You ain't no son of David. You a son of God. You don't need to be a son of David. You a son of God. But you know why they need to be a son of David, boss? Because David is the firstborn bond. They get legitimatized. They over there, what's it called? What's it called, man? Cloud chasing. Yeah, there we go. Somebody sent that to me. Cloud chase. They over there cloud chasing off David's name, talking about son of David, Jesus. Nah, man, you ain't no son of David. I thought you were born of a virgin, JC. You just want the covenant, man. You want to supplant DAWI, right? Yeah. I have found David. Let's back it up. For of HaWah is our shield. The Holy One of Israel is our king. Then thou spoke in vision to the godly ones, and said, I have laid upon one that is mighty. Who's that? I have exalted one chosen out the people. Managa, that's one. Who's Neo in this mother, man? Let's go, man. It's about to get good. This is just the intro. I promise you. I ain't even clicked none of the links I wanted to click. I'm just popping off. All right, so we're in 112, and you see why we in 112. Because we popping off. All right, so I've exalted one, not two, not three, man. One, man. The Creator never, this ain't about confusion, man. You want your Yahushua to be the Khan? Yahushua can't be the Khan, because you still talking Jesus, boss. All power's been given to me, ain't never come out the mouth of a true Khan. I have exalted one chosen out the people. I have found David, my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established. My arm also shall strengthen him. The enemy shall not exact from him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him, and I will beat to pieces his adversaries. Oh yeah, boss. This is what we do. And smite them that hate him. How much y'all gonna hate on the Prester? You know how many people, even reconners, man, tried to hate on the Prester John investigation? They felt it was just taking up too much shine. Oh man, we in code, boss, so we can pop off with David. We can talk David because we in code with the Creator, Most High, over everything. Halal HaWah, MHOE. HaWah's gonna beat to pieces, beat they ass, man. Period, boss. Smite them. Spin the block on the haters, man. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with David. And through my name, his horn be exalted. I said, who's the horn? Shall be with him, Dawid. Who's the horn? I will set his hand also on the sea, and his right hand on the rivers. He shall call unto me, thou art my Father, my God. What does he say in Psalms 18? Go get the drop. And the rock of my salvation, I will appoint him firstborn, the highest of the kings of the earth. Forever will I keep my mercy. For him, my mercy, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed, my Naga. We're talking Nagaville. Could we talking copper colored Nagas? Could we talking Ethiopian? Could we talking Abyssinian? Could we talking burnt face? No, we're talking fiery looking. His seed also will I make to endure forever. His throne as the days of heaven. But man, if these people start slipping, man, if these stiff-necked, stubborn Israelites start slipping again, man, start playing the harlot again, if his children forsake my law, they don't want to keep the code, walk not in my ordinances, if they profane my statute and keep not my commandments, then I will visit their transgression with the rod. Look, this ain't no color coding. This ain't no sugar coating. This ain't no pansy dancing. We ain't on no play. You getting your ass beat right now. You're getting visited with the rod. You ain't got no land, boss. Manaka, where's your land? We say we buying land, but we paying taxes, man. Oh, you sovereign? You still getting jammed up, man. You don't got no land until the Creator restores your land to you with security. You got dragons popping up, protecting your ass. That's when you got your land. When you got security, man. You got your land. Oh, I got my guns. I got my AK. Today I didn't even have to use my AK. Oh, that's when you say it's a good day? Because you didn't have to use your AK today? That means you are getting visited with the rod for your transgressions. What's the number one transgression? Come on, boss. Managa in the back of the class. What's the number one transgression, boss? Boss man? Boss lady? Harlotry, man. Idolatry. Then I will visit their transgression with the rod. All these religions, harlotry to this day. And their iniquity with strokes. But, but, my mercy will I not break off from him, nor will I be false to my faithfulness. My covenant will I not profane, nor alter that which is gone out of my lips. Once I have sworn by my holiness, surely I will not be false unto David. Dawid, not JC. His seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. It shall be established forever as the moon, and be steadfast as the witness in the sky. Oh, you gonna witness, boss? They're talking dragons, meteors. Yeah. Where are your former mercies, O HaWah, which thou didst swear unto David in your faithfulness? Remember, HaWah, our power, the taunt of your servants, how I do bear my bosom the taunt of so many people. Oh, they hating on us, HaWah. They false witnessing on us, HaWah. You got false witnesses calling us false witnesses, HaWah. Wherewith your enemies have taunted, O HaWah, wherewith they have taunted the footsteps of your anointed. Baruch be HaWah forevermore. Hey, Halal HaWah. You know how we do. Steady water flowing through the tribe. What about you? We got that water. Drop Nation got that water. We got that water. Drop Nation got that water, 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 water. Wow. We got that water. A song of Dawid, the servant, right? Of HaWah, right? JC ain't got no story like this. Jesus ain't got no story like this. Going to war against the hijack, fighting, for the tribe, being encompassed by his enemies, and HaWah comes down as a dragon. Yeah, man, he ain't got no story like that. David, who spoke unto HaWah the words of this song, in the day that HaWah delivered him, he was singing this song, the ancient love song, from the hand of all his enemies. Did HaWah deliver JC from the hand of all his enemies? Oh no, he was a sacrifice for all the sins of Israel and the world. He was a sacrifice for the world's sins. Blasphemy. Because you still getting jammed up, you still dying, you still getting diseased, dog. You still getting chemtrailed, dog. You still getting poisoned. They still shooting stuff in your arm. Where does the sacrifice kick in at, man? Because I think we are getting jammed up, boss. If it wasn't for him, we'll have no way back into heaven. That's called Zeus. HaWah don't say that. HaWah is our salvation, not JC. HaWah delivered David from the hand of all his enemies. JC on the cross saying, "Oh Lord, Father, why have you forsaken me, boss? Forsaken me?" Verse 2, and he said, "I love you, O HaWah, my strength. HaWah is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my rock. In him I take refuge," not JC. "My shield and my horn of salvation, my high tower. Praise, I cry, is HaWah, Halal HaWah." And I am saved from my enemies. We need saving from our enemies, right? You can't call on no hijack. Only HaWah. Only the breath, the security. Only your creator, your most high. power over everything. You feel the cords of death compassing you. The floods of Belial assailed me. The cords of Sheol surrounded me. The snares of death confronted me. You feel the snares of death, my knight. In my distress, I called upon the Creator and cried upon my Creator. Out of his temple, he heard my voice, and my cry came before him unto his ears. Yeah, the Creator got ears. What else? Then the earth did shake and quake. The foundations also of the mountains did tremble. They were shaken because he was pissed off, right? He was raw. He was mad. Smoke arose up from his nostrils. Yes, the Creator got nostrils. And fire out of his mouth. Yeah, the Creator got a mouth. Did devour. The Creator personally was upset at David's enemies. He heard David in his ear bones. Smoke came out of his nose bone and fire out of his mouth bone. Out of his mouth, man. So what else breathes fire? I don't know. A dragon? And we're not saying the Creator can only take dragon form. I'm saying in battle form, in battle mode, that might be a pretty good battle form. You know, we're gonna talk dragon bodies. Let's go. Yeah, you're supposed to shine, right? We're talking luminous, right? Dragons are luminous. Fire out of his mouth, boss. Smoke out of his nostrils, boss. All right. So an Ethiopian is fiery looking, and the old name for Ethiopia is Abyssinia. Fiery looking also connects to the etymology of dragon. Because fiery looking, as a dragon, you are seeing clearly. You are the one. You are the one with the deadly glance. Birdman Hammer. The one with the deadly glance is the one who is fiery looking. Khan? Not burnt face, but, copper colored Khans that are fiery because they have the deadly glance. And it's the deadly glance, shooting, fire weapons out your eyeballs. They say Leviathan, when his eyes was opened up, was like the sun was shining, you know what I'm saying? So he was fiery looking. The one with the deadly glance, metaphorically speaking, refers to the one who is seeing clearly, Manak. Because this person is a dragon. Man or woman, Naga, you a dragon. You are fiery. You are a meteor. In other words, you're the Prester. In other words, you are the copper. You are the copper color races. The burnt face, Abyssinian, Ethiopian, fiery looking races. Just found here by the Europeans. But now applied to the descendants of the Europeans born in America. Okay, boss. We're talking copper. All right. Oh, we're talking a lot of things. We're talking unicorns. Yeah. Bible unicorns do appear in some stories of the Old Testament, even in the Psalter. Unicorn too strong to be captured. Oh yeah, you got the sinus of fire. Yeah, you got old Saint Christopher, right? Now you got Christopher Columbus. Yeah, he's a doghead. But this is a different Christopher, right? Because Christopher means Christ of Ophir. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, boss. Ophir is a city of gold. It means gold. Ophir. Also a person. Havila, Ophir. Now you are back in your Eber flow, right? Yeah. Now you're back in your Choctaw flow. Younger son of Eber, progenitor of 13 Arabic tribes. But we're just talking Arab proper. Don't go crazy. We're talking Arab proper. Because there's an Arab improper. And Arab is just a rabbi, lawgiver. But what law are you giving? Are you keeping the code? That's a real rabbi, right? That's a real Rob, right? That's a real Arab. Many of which as Hazarmaveth, Sheba, Ophir, and Havilah have been identified. Ophir. So he's the Christ of Ophir. And you could link Ophir, just put in Ophir, City of Gold, or Ophir Gold. You just get the drop, all right? Let's go. Told y'all we in 112. We out of here. We're talking gold, but we're also talking copper, which is the interesting thing. Christ of Ophir will be the anointed of the gold, man. And who's searching for the gold? Christopher. And what does Christopher really look like? The Christ of Ophir is a sign as a fire. Now they say, oh, St. Christopher, he was back in the 200 AD. Again, they move the timeline around how they want to. They create phantoms. They create duplicates. But we done dug pretty deep on Christopher. We'll get back in that drop with the Christ of Ophir flow. The sinus Cephali flow, the shepherd syphilis, because the Cephali is the syphilis. And the shepherd syphilis was cursed by their god Apollo or Tahuti or Thoth, because he didn't want to worship him as a god. He wanted to worship the king Alchemy as a god, so they got cursed with dog heads. This is not natural, boss. This is the unconsciousness. Yeah, you guessed it. The dragon is not the serpent. The dragon, we're talking about the universal spirit, the Ruach, is the blood of that dragon. The vessel in which the spirit is contained is that dragon. And they slay the dragon with the product of Kani and Sheol, the coming together of opposites. Now you got a black and white chessboard, right? Uh-oh. And the serpent is just now bursting into consciousness. Because it's not natural here. It's not natural here. This is what popped off the flood, man. St. Christopher, the doghead, his compass, man, who died of gout And the gout and syphilis has a lot to do with each other. But let's go back to the dragon. The dragon is the ultimate, the final form of the serpent of Genesis, right? We can now see clearly we're talking the dragon. And even, like we say all the time, in the Garden of Eden, that dragon was then cursed to have to squirm around on his belly. But what was it doing before it was cursed? I mean, the snake, what was the snake doing? Before it was cursed to be on his belly, what was the snake doing? Flying snake? Snake on fire, flying in the sky? Was it a crawling snake? A jumping snake? A flying? What? Or are we just talking a dragon that got cursed to have to lose his wings and couldn't fly no more? Does that make more sense? Final form of the serpent in Genesis. So it is naturally associated with the devil, right? Just like Leviathan. Just put in Satan in etymology. Noggin is going to be the best Prester John of all time. Pop it off. So it's a lot of fun, man, to surf a familiar wave with noggins, man. Satan, right? Okay. Prime, supreme evil spirit, adversary, right? Hebrew. So who's your Satan? Let's just think about that. Who's plotting against you? Who's opposing you? Honestly, sometimes we oppose ourselves. You know how we oppose ourselves? Who's your Satan? Who's your adversary? Who's the devil? Sometimes they call your dragons the devil, like the dragons or devil's tower, the tree stump in Wyoming, right? Sometimes you oppose yourself. The children of Israel, oh man, even as HaWah loves the children of Israel, though they turn to other gods. Sometimes we oppose ourselves by turning to these other gods. JC, I'm looking for Muhammad, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for Buddha, I'm looking for whatever you into. Oh, I'm my own God, whatever you into. We are our own adversary. We're literally plotting against. Sometimes we plot against each other because we want to spin the block on each other. We want to call each other ops and act like we, don't have no respect for life. We're out of code. We're not ready to return. Seek HaWah, KTC, MHOE, and get that mem songs with King Dawei. We're talking the end of days, cuz. So, are we in the end of days, or are you ready to pop off? Are you ready to pop off? That's how we oppose ourselves. But who else is opposing us? Think about it. Remember, it's a more and more war. Obstructing us, you know what I'm saying? So a Satan, an adversary, is someone opposing you. They try to throw Leviathan in this, man. I put in Leviathan, man. What? Oh, excuse me. Let's get this right. Okay, there we go. A form of Satan? Come on, balls. To who? Who's he opposing? Who's the opposition of Leviathan? In the book of Job, is he not HaWah's dragon? Read the book of Job. Is he not the creator's dragon? Creator's bragging about him, like, hey man, who could put a pierce a hook in Leviathan, man? Only me, man. Only I can control this dragon. Only I can control this dragon. Y'all can't control this dragon. How can y'all control me? I'm the creator. I think Leviathan sunk Atlantis. This is just a wild thought, right? I think Leviathan was given the order to sink that island. And Leviathan can very well do it. You know, he's the fiery looking one. And that makes him an adversary to the hijack. The Atlantis hijack, Egypt hijack, American hijack. He's a, he becomes the red dragon in Revelations. They turn him into this evil dragon, form of Satan, because of the book of Revelations, Revelations 12, right? Nah, man, they giving Leviathan a bad rap, because he's twisted. Oh, the twisted, crooked serpent Leviathan. He's twisted because he's a twisting dragon. He's a coiling, long, twisting dragon. He's physically twisting. He's not messed up in the head. Levi, right? Ain't the tribe of Levi the priest? What you mean he's twisted? HaLaWah, right? Oh, you want to practice law? That's Levi. That's law. Levi is law. What do you mean he's twisted? Oh, yeah, the crooked serpent. We might want to dig on Psalm 74. Why not, man? We got a free Leviathan, man. Free Phineas, free Levi, man. Be careful when you free Levi. Make sure you're ready, because he can be an adversary if you're out of code. He did sink Atlantis. Psalm 74. We're talking dragons. We got to talk Psalm 74. It's very interesting, right? We went through a lot of translations on this, but, I'm just getting this for reference purposes. We're talking dragons. Levi, they want to call him a devil, right? They want to call him a Satan. The Christians, that is. And the Muslims. None of them, Christianity and Islam, are not rocking with no dragons, right? They call the dragons jinn over there, or Satan, or da-da-da-da. You got good angels, you got bad angels. They're still angels. You got good dragons. You got dragons out of code. That's just what it is. Good angels. It's a frequency war, right? So, every dragon has to choose up, right? Just like you. Psalm 74, verse 12, yet HaWah is my king of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou did break the sea in pieces by your strength. Thou did shatter the heads of the sea monsters in the waters, right? So you got this multiple head situation, 7 heads, Revelations 12, red dragon going crazy. You also got a multiple head Leviathan, right? But why did he get sacrificed? Because Leviathan was a sacrifice. In the sacred text, it says he was sacrificed as meat for the children in the wilderness. And this is what you're calling your manna. Also, he was sacrificed to be a canopy. The Leviathan scales were used for the firmament. Manaka. That's why they say the book of Job is the oldest book. Some people. Firmament. You're talking firmament talk. But let's go. Is the firmament made of Leviathan scales? Is the manna Leviathan meat? And I'm sure HaWah can create more Leviathans, but let's go. Thou did break into pieces by your strength. You shattered the heads of the sea monsters in the water. Thou did crush the heads of Leviathan. Huh? What'd you say, boss? Multiple head dragon. Just like Revelations, huh? And that's when they're talking about, oh, the evil, twisted, crooked serpent. He's twisting. He's a long dragon. He's twisting. He ain't crooked because he got an attitude problem. He got multiple heads. Uh-oh. Thou gave him to be food, my nigga, to the folk inhabiting the wilderness, my nigga. Did the children of Israel go into the wilderness, and did they eat the manna falling from the sky? Okay, let me clear my throat. Thou did cleave fountain and brook, dry up ever-flowing rivers. Thine is the day, thine also is the night. Thou hast established luminary and sun. So there's this difference between the luminary and the sun. I guess that's the stars and the sun. Thou hast set all the borders of the earth. We ain't talking about spinning ball, are we, ball? Thou hast made summer and winter, man. So Leviathan was sacrificed as food to the folk inhabiting the wilderness. Leviathan was sacrificed so that you were able to eat when you had no food. Now they got Jesus with their fish, right? With his fish, and he got enough. See how they flipped the story? He turned a little fish into a lot of fish, and everybody ate the fish, and everybody ate because they ate the fish, because Jesus turned the fish and made everyone had enough fish. That don't make no damn sense. But Leviathan is definitely enough fish. And last time that I checked, he is what they called it before. They be flipping this thing. He is a giant sea fish. Oh, there we go, sea animal. In other breakdowns, it says a sea fish, right? So he's a big old sea fish, sea serpent, sea monster, you know what I'm saying? This is who was sacrificed. He was sacrificed so the children of Israel can eat, man. Psalm 74, verse 14. You crushed the heads, Revelations 12, 7-head dragon. Gave him to be food. Do you think HaWah would give Satan to be food in the wilderness? How the hell is Leviathan a form of Satan? Come on, man. Serpent in the garden, right? So it is naturally associated with the devil. Stop it. Stop it. You see how they did it right in your face. Associated with the devil. It's the same as saying sometimes regarded as a form of Satan. Huh? Satan is an adversary or someone opposing you, and you got to say, who was this giant sea fish opposing? He couldn't have been opposing us if the Creator made him food to the folk inhabiting the wilderness, boss. The Creator won't feed you no negative energy. That's that manna. Khan, sometimes regarded as a form of Satan. Associated with the devil. We just talking Dre. Leviathan. Job. The book of Job, chapter 30. Let's go. In the book of the Apocalypse, we read that with its tail, the dragon swept a third of the stars out of the sky, flung them to the earth. Oh, we back in the New Testament. Okay. Well, let's go. So this is let's pick it up from here. Oh man, I'm having too much fun. I'm going a little crazy. I'm having too much fun. So this is gonna pick up exactly where we at, and this is also gonna lead us right to the copper drop, the copper color con drop, right? So let's go. I'm out of here. It's Prester 112. We out of here, man. Read with me, man. Read with me, my nigga. Serpents in the Bible, right? Alchemical serpent, alchemical dragon. Let's go. Serpents, Hebrew, Nahas, or Nahash, or my Nagas, let's go, are referred to in both the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. Whoa, slow down. Slow down, fast talker. Slow down. Talking tans and tanny. And this is where they like to hide in our tents. This is where Thothy Boy likes to hide in language. Is that the tan represents the jackal or the sign of Sapphire, dog-headed man, right? And the tannin is the singular form of dragon in Hebrew, right? So you have tans and tannins. You got jackals and dragons both coming out that tan flow. The tannin, or the tannin is the plural of the jackal or the tan. The tannin is the plural of the dragon in the Hebrew. But the jackal doesn't see clearly. No, the sign of Sapphire, they don't see clearly. They're just now bursting into consciousness. They are artificial intelligence, 101. They are the alchemical serpent, the dog-headed, We got before out of, I think it was the Massey book, one of those Mason flows, where it literally gave us the drop that to the indigenous intelligence, consciousness, the serpent is the fox, it said. And then I thought about Dora the Explorer, swiper, no swiping, and all that. The fox is always trying to swipe and steal and jack the jackals, right? Right. That's the serpent. That's the serpent. Not even the snake. I don't want to give a snake a bad rap. It's this dog-headed man that's the alchemical serpent. All right, what else we got? Because we're about to go right in on Moses and the Brazen Serpent or the Copper Dragon. And we're going to take that into the copper drop, into why the copper is so important when you talk Israel. Most people don't correlate Israel with copper. But we about to correlate copper with Copper Dragon with Israel, man. Let's go. So, serpent in the Bible, okay. Referred to in both the Hebrew Bible or the Tanakh and the New Testament, right? But the New Testament flips it to this Revelations evil dragon. And the Tanakh, the dragon's giving you life. So one is giving you death, one's giving you life. What does that sound like? Serpents, right? The serpent brings everything to life, but yet it kills everything. That's death. The dragon does what? Oh yeah. It's a symbol of renewal. It's a symbol of water, divine water, power. It's a symbol of the vessel in which the spirit is contained. Living spirit, life. Dragon represents life. It's mysterious to these hijacks. The alchemical serpent's impersonal nature, unconsciousness, it is not mysterious. It is their cosmic dragon. It's not mysterious. It's underneath the firmament and it's killing everything. 440 hertz is the cosmic serpent. 440 hertz is the alchemical serpent. It's a frequency war. Serpent, dragon. The symbol of the serpent or snake played important roles in religious traditions and cultural life of ancient Greece, Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Canaan. The serpent was a symbol of evil, power, and chaos from the underworld, as well as a symbol of fertility, life, healing, rebirth, or renewal. Manag, I can't make this stuff up. All right? We're just surfing waves. So, rebirth, renewal, fertility, life, healing is different than chaos, underworld, evil power. That sounds like the alchemical serpent versus the alchemical snake, right? So, Nahas, Hebrew for snake or dragon, is also associated with divination, or the creator power, including the verb form meaning to practice divination or fortune telling. Nahas occurs in the Torah to identify the serpent in the Garden of Eden. This is when we play the game, man. It's snake or dragon, right? So throughout the Hebrew Bible, it is also used in conjunction with Seraph. Seraph means what? The fiery ones, man. HaWah, the highest order of angels are the Seraph, the Seraphim, the what? Burning ones. It burned, just like the Ethiopian burn, right? Fiery looking. Seraphim are the highest order of angels. So how can they be evil if they're angels? Managa, I'll wait. Answer me, man. We're talking the highest order of angels. We ain't talking evil. You see, there's a duality here. On one end with serpent, you're talking evil, Revelations, New Testament, Christianity, right? On the other flip side, or the real side, with the Tanakh, you're talking life. Moses makes a copper dragon that gives the tribe life. A seraph is an angel of the highest order. An angel is a dragon, not a man with wings, man. That's Christianity. An angel is a dragon. The highest order angels are the burning ones, right? Or dragons. We're talking men with wings. We're talking the burning ones. It burns. The word seems to have some etymological sense of flying. Right. Or fiery, right? Flying. Snake or dragon. Have you seen a flying snake? Have you seen a snake with wings? Come on, keep it real. Not even in nature is there a snake that's just popping off flying all day in the air, but a dragon flies all day, does what it wants to do, right? High up in the ether. High up in the ether. I never been, oh man, I'm down here in the swamps with these flying snakes. Oh, what's that in the air flying? Oh, that's just a snake, a flying snake. Stop the play. Stop the capery, man. No cap on my number 2 pencil. A fiery flying serpent is a fiery flying dragon. And the seraph is an angel. Seraphim, Isaiah chapter 6. Man, these angels, these dragons are singing holy, holy to HaWah. These dragons are in the throne room of HaWah, singing holy, holy is our creator. And they're not evil. Revelations, evil dragon, New Testament, hell no. These are HaWah's dragons. The highest, I said, the highest order of the angel is a seraph, the burning ones, the burning one. Hebrew for snake, we're talking rebirth. Hebrew for dragon is also associated with divination. Let's get it from here. Throughout the Hebrew Bible, it is also used in conjunction with seraph to describe vicious serpents in the wilderness. Or we're talking dragons, Khan. Leviathan was food for the Khans in the wilderness. And why'd you get such a charge up? Because you got charged up from this dragon. You got renewed. That manna gave you renewal. That special manna gave you renewal. We're not just talking meat, man. We're talking energy, frequency, and vibration. HaWah's dragon. Sacrifice as food. As food. As food, mana. God. Thou gave him to be food to the folk inhabiting the wilderness. Wow. In conjunction with Seraph to describe vicious dragons in the wilderness. The Tannin, a dragon monster, a dragon, also occurs throughout the Hebrew Bible. Tannin is a dragon. They say monster. In the book of Exodus, the staves of Moses and Aaron are turned into serpents, a nahas for Moses, a tannin for Aaron. In the New Testament, the book of Rev, here we go. We go right to the end of the New Testament, to the Revelation. Makes use of an ancient serpent and the dragon several times to identify Satan. And that's why it said sometimes a form of Satan is a Leviathan, right? So let's go. All hijack city. The serpent is most often identified with hubristic Satan, sometimes with Lilith, man, who we could did a whole drop on Lilith, first woman of creation, right? Because there's some stories that she was the first aqua popping off of creation. And there's a whole storyline and bloodline to do with Lilith, and it could include Nebuchadnezzar, who feels he had a claim because he's from the bloodline or he's the son of Lilith. Uh-oh. Hey, that's for my wave surfers. The narrative of the Garden of Eden and the fall of humankind constitute a mythological tradition shared by the Abrahamic religions with the presentation more or less symbolic of Judeo-Christian morals and religious beliefs. Let's go. Book of Mormon studies. I said we're going to use these Mormons to talk Moshe and Copper Dragon. Did I not? Yeah, pull up the link. You got the links, my niggas. All right, you get the links before they eat the packs. You had the links. So, hey, I to all my niggas supporting the packs. We appreciate you. We need your support. You got one pack, get another one for the homie so he can have all the drop. Just keep supporting, and it helps us, you know what I'm saying? So, ThaWaDa to you. Man. Moses' Brazen Serpent as it relates to serpent worship in Mesoamerica. So, let's see if we can see clearly. Let's go. Serpent or dragon? This is by Wallace E. Hunt Jr. This paper shows that the account of Moses' brazen serpent as taught by the Nephite leaders, this is Mormon talk. Hey, I told y'all look out for us. Brand new series, Mormons Digging Deeper. Because we going to dig deeper and really connect the indigenous flow going through that Book of Mormon, man. With our Prester flow. Like only we can here in Drop Nation. Halal HaWah. This paper shows that the account of Moses' serpent or dragon, as taught by the Nephite leaders, parallels the symbol and the name of the Mesoamerican power, Quetzalcoatl, and the only reason why they're venerating him as a god is because they venerate all of us as a god. Joshua, David, Moses, Sheba as Shiva, they venerate our people, man. Adam and Eve, like Miriam turns into Mary, and there's a whole Mary worship. They venerate us as gods because that's the power. And, we don't get tied up in that. We see clearly, right? We see clearly. We got that dragon, right? So just see clearly, get the babies out and say, if there's a connection, there's a parallel between this Moshe dragon flow and the way the dragon is connected with this Mesoamerican or Indigenous American Quetzalcoatl, which, according to Massey in the Book of the Beginnings, Love to Pop Cool, connects the literal, Hebrew Joshua with Quetzalcoatl and says, here's Quetzalcoatl wearing a robe full of crosses. Quetzalcoatl leads his people to the promised land. Joshua leads his people to the promised land. Yeah, he's a promised land knocker, right? So it further shows that the term flying used in the Nephite, but not in the biblical account of the fiery serpent, has parallels in the Old and New worlds. Let's go. Wallace E. Hunt. Archaeologists and scholars agree that there are countless documented instances of serpent worship in varying forms throughout human history, yet despite the innumerable varieties of serpent worship, only in Mesoamerica do we find a preponderance of feathered serpent worship or veneration, right? And anybody that you look up to, that you're writing about, they're going to say you worshiped it. They say you're going to worship the sun because you didn't get burnt by the sun. The sun was rocking with you. They say you worship gold because you got all the gold. They say you worship the dragon because you got the dragons, right? So let's go. Carrasco emphatically states that there is no doubt that serpent symbolism, and more specifically feathered serpent symbolism. Now the History Channel is coming claim that these dragons had wings and feathers, right? These dinosaurs had feathers, right? Okay. Spread throughout the architecture of ceremonial centers in Mesoamerica. And remember the end of Jurassic Park? I think the original OG Jurassic Park, and they showed the birds flying at the end. They were trying to tell you that these dinos had feathers and wings, and that this bird is connected with these dragons. But let's go. The god who was represented by statues and pictorial representations of feathered serpents was known as Quetzalcoatl. Although the ancient peoples of Mesoamerica worshiped many different gods, the beauty of an indigenous bird so captured their interest that they not only borrowed its name, but used its form as well to represent their principal and most revered god, Quetzalcoatl, by the Toltecs and Aztecs, and Kukulkan and Gukumats by the Mayan. Right. Okay. Yeah, my nog, I got the Papavu. I got the Papavu up. I go get it out the drop library. Like I said, we surfing the wave. You might as well just get the drop now. Click the link below or get in the drop library. So you too can have the drop. It's protected. It's protected. But yeah, we're gonna get some of that serpents of wisdom. So get that serpents of wisdom. And way up there at the top. I mean, I know we got a lot going on in the drop library. But just, scroll to the top and get the Papu Vu. Kan. Bang. Sacred text of the Maya Quiche, which means the root people, man, the root Nagas. So pull up that Papu Vu. Pull up that Returns of the Serpent of Wisdom. We about to pop off. I done marinated it. We ready to pop off. This Peru is the land of our beginning, where we went from the old red land. Okay, pull up this Serpent of Wisdom by Marco Maro Ping. But first, get the Papu Vu. Get ready to talk copper color cons and Moshe and copper dragons. They're talking Quetzalcoatl, the Quetzal. Remember, the Quetzal bird is the rainbow bird, the rainbow dragon. The Quetzal is the dragon. The Quetzal is this rainbow bird that only exists in the cloud forest, way high ether elevation. You're going to find the Quetzal, which is a rainbow bird. That connects to the rainbow dragon, and that connects to Genesis chapter 9. I'll put my bow in the sky. I'll put my dragon in the sky. And anytime you see this rainbow dragon, just remember, I'm not going to flood you out again like this, right? So, talking to Quetzal drop. And how does it kick off? Right here, right here. Okay. So this is how it begins. This is the Maya Quiche sacred text. Here we shall gather the manifestation, the declaration, the account of the sowing, and the dawning by the framer and the shaper. That's not one androgynous God. It's the framer and the shaper, which is why you got the duality, or the dual or the plural when you read gods or any plural form in the Genesis account, you know, you know what I'm saying? So any of that pluralness is referring to framer and shaper, right? She who has borne children. He who has begotten sons, as they are called, along with Hanapu, Possum, Hanapu, Coyote, Great White Picari, Coyote, Sovereign, and Quetzal, Serpent. Translations, we talking dragons. So this Quetzal is a reference to a lofty rainbow all-colored dragon. Same dragon that's coming Psalms 18 with fire out of his nostrils, smoke out of his nose. The Quetzal, heart of lake, heart of sea, creator of the green earth, Ama. Creator of the blue sky, Abba. What does Abba say? I created, I made it out the firmament, Rakwa. I beat it out. It's the handiwork of your creator. And what does Mama say? Proverbs 8, I was the first of his creations. I was popping off before the waters, before the boundaries. God. After Mama, everything else was created. But Mama's the first of all of his works of old. And they connected with the Quetzal flow, you know what I'm saying, which connects to this rainbow flow and this dragon flow. Not Quetzalcoatl as a deity, as a person, as a man or whatever. So when these hijacks look into us, they always get it wrong. They always get it wrong. We're talking about the great Quetzal. We're not talking about just Quetzalcoatl, who is a, servant of the creator, leading his people to the promised land. We're talking about the power that Quetzalcoatl serves. Just like Josh HaWah has HaWah in his name, Quetzalcoatl has the Quetzal in his name. But the big dragon is your Abba. These are the titles for the divine couple. We're not talking about one androgynous alchemical serpent god. Shalak. We're talking about mama and daddy building a house together. Like Proverbs 8, she says, I delight him. I give him delight. They rocking as one divine couple. HaWah. Gone. You see clearly, my nuggets? Let's start in Proverbs 4. We'll give, look. We are sucking pure water. What is Solomon talking about? Hear you, children, the instructions of a father, and attend to no understanding. What does Mama say in Proverbs 8? I am understanding, for I give you good doctrine. Forsake you not my teaching, for I was son unto my father, tender and only one in the sight of my mother. He taught me and said unto me, let your heart hold fast my words. Keep my commandments and live. Keep the code. Get wisdom, get understanding. Because mama is understanding. She's going to tell you in Proverbs 8, forget not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not. Who's her? Wisdom is her. Understanding is her. She is not him. He is not her. But they are rocking out. They are rocking out. Let's go to Genesis. Get your sword out, my naga. Let's go to Genesis. In the beginning, HaWah created the heaven and earth. Now the earth was unformed and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the spirit of HaWah hovered over the face of the waters. So as HaWah is creating heaven and earth, right, the earth is without form and it's dark. And the Papa Vu clarifies it and says, This is not describing this power that is creating something out of nothing. It's using the elements to create. The spirit of HaWah hovered over the face of the water. And HaWah said, let there be light, and there was light. There wasn't sun, right? Sun was created later. There was the light of HaWah, the light of the throne room. HaWah saw the light, it was good. HaWah divided light and darkness, right? You read about it, right? Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. Let it divide the waters from the waters. God, that's not outer space. I'm talking that water. Verse 26, HaWah said, let us make man in our image. Boss. God. So that plural, that us, that our, let us make man in our image. It's referring to he who has begotten sons. And she who has borne children. We're talking about a mama that creates a fine meal out of these ingredients, and an Abba who shapes with frequency, vibration. That us, that our, we're talking framer, refers to one who makes something by putting things together, a building from stone or adobe, a meal. You eating, man? You got that food? A meal from various ingredients, or a woven cloth from individual threads. Shaper, betal, refers to one who makes something by modeling, molding. Pottery from clay, or sculpture from carved stone. This gives, thus giving shape to an otherwise amorphous substance. Amorphous substance, like the earth was unformed and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. Framer and shaper. Quetzal. Then they got the Quetzalcoatl. But they're using the same frequency because he's connected with the creator. He is a Quetzal. You know what I'm saying? Just like he is a, like a Joshua, still carrying the name, or an Eve or a Kawah is still carrying the name, the flow, the frequency. Whether you're talking indigenous talk or straight up Hebrew biblical talk. These are titles for a divine couple. Shemukane, Shepoyakok. Jimenez translates their quiche names Alom, Kajalom, as simply mother and father. A more accurate translation for Alom, however, is she who was born children. So they got their Allah in Islam. They're not connecting the Allah with the Allah, right? They've split the father and mother in Christianity and Islam, the main two religions, right? They've made the Christian God this male God who's always by himself. He has no woman. He has no pop-offness, right? Then you got Alam or Allah, which, knowing or not knowing, it's effeminate. Because that all, that AL, is effeminate. To bear children. She who has borne children from the perfect aspect of the root verb al, to bear children. Are you referring? We're talking Maya, Quiche, root talk here. They're talking Islam. They're talking Muhammad. We're talking Quiche, Mayan root talk. All to bear children is feminine. So they split the male and the feminine, and they gave us hijacked reflections of the male God in Christianity and the feminine God in Islam. They've gave us watered downness, genericness, so they can get the masses involved with this generic flow. But the root of it all, the cliche of it all, is the coming together of the mother and the father to form a house, just like you do, my lord. You're representing the great throne, the great house, that also has a father, mother, heart of the lake, heart of the sea, created the green earth. Ama created the blue sky. Abba, who created the firmament, right? The blue sky. Okay, let's go. So the book of Numbers, right? Numbers 21. Make thee a fiery serpent. Are we talking snake or dragon? Go. Come on. I'm going to put you to the test, man. Trying to put us to the test. We're going to put you to the test. Fiery serpent. We talking snake or dragon? I'll wait. Have you ever seen a snake on fire and if used for any good, man? When's the last time you saw a snake on fire? Just go. Think about that. When's the last time you saw a fire-breathing dragon depicted in any of these movies, Game of Thrones, whatever the case is, right? So a fiery dragon, they're coming out the woodworks, right? How to Train Your Dragon, this and this and that. Lord of the Rings, dragon, dragon, dragon. Avatar, dragon, dragon, dragon. Make thee a fiery serpent. The single Hebrew word which is here employed is seraph, right? Burning ones, right? Highest order of the angels, right? Numbers 21:6, where the word Nahashim or dragon, say serpent, also. The meaning is also in the following verse, in which it is said that Moshe made a serpent of brass. And this is where we're going to focus for the next few minutes. Did he make a snake, a brass snake, or a copper dragon? This word brass is tricky because before you had any alloy metals and brass is an alloy, before you had that, back in those days, you didn't have them alloys, man. You had the copper, man. And in etymology, we're gonna get it right quick. When you talk brazen or brass, you just talk copper. Even the Brown drivers Briggs break down the brass as the copper. So stop the play. There ain't no brass back then. We talking copper. Copper. Copper colored car. Copper dragon. Just keep that in mind. Let's go. Back to the Quetzal, right? So this Quetzalcoatl or Joshua is, rocking this Quetzal title, this rainbow title. He's representing this Coatl, this dragon. Although the ancient peoples of Mesoamerica worship many different gods, the beauty of an indigenous bird so captured their interest that they not only borrowed its name, but used it as a form as well to represent their principal and most revered god, Quetzalcoatl, by the Toltecs, Aztecs, Kukulkan, right? Avatar 2, Google Mods by the Maya. All different titles. I love the fine print. Because these titles refer to the same god, their interpretation, feathered or plumed serpent, is the same. The Aztec word Quetzal is the name of the bird and also means tail feather. Just type in Quetzal and put cloud forest and you'll connect this rainbow bird you'll see a rainbow bird, right? We're talking rainbows in the sky. All right, let's go. Genesis talk. Tail feather. The word Quetzalcoatl means snake or what? Dragon. So they're interpreting the Mormons. They're gonna give you some drama. They're gonna give you a lot of deception, right? You see clearly. You the dragon. The snake is the dragon. Okay, let's flow with me. Quetzal is the dragon. The Quetzal is the rainbow bird. Kukulkan, combination of two words. Kukul meaning feather, and Khan meaning snake or dragon. Khan means snake or dragon. Yeah, man. Ka, we talking dragon talk, because that Ka, as we'll get in Mark Amaro, Serpent of Wisdom, that Ka in the language, man, always is connecting you back to the dragon. The Ka is the dragon. This is Amaru Ka, and you are an American. I mean, Amaru Ka, and they even spell it the same, C-A-N, right? American, C-A-N, or is it Ka, dragon, Amaru Ka? I love the fine print. Let's go. In the Mayan Quiche, Gugumat's Guk means green feathers. Kukmats means serpent or dragon. Green dragon? Green feather dragon? Free feeding. the Quetzal. The Quetzal. All right. All right. So the native to the highlands of the Chiapas, Mexico, Moshe, Guatemala, the Quetzal is a strikingly beautiful creature with a 3-foot-long, iridescent green tail, crimson breast, a myriad of other bright colors on its coat. Although Quetzalcoatl's origin is clouded in obscurity, the legends, the few pre-Columbian writings extant today, and the early post-conquest writings contain an abundance of material on this ancient and revered power, right? They say God. These accounts are contradictory and vary widely both on the God's attributes and the details of how he was worshipped, undoubtedly due to the millennium of digressions from the original concept from the end of the Book of Mormon to the time of the conquest. Hijack City. However, through all this maze, we find that the Mesoamericans, Indigenous Nagas, consistently endow Quetzalcoatl with many Christ-like attributes. And this is why the Mormons consider Quetzalcoatl as their Jesus Christ. Yeah, and look it up, boss. When they talk Jesus, they're talking the indigenous Quetzalcoatl, man. They're talking Joshua, who Moses laid his hands on, you know. Deuteronomy, we're talking Torah. Let's go to Deuteronomy 34. Y'all still surfing the wave with me? Wow. Let's go. Best dismount of all time. So we got before, Moses supposedly died in Mount Nebo somewhere. Nobody know, right? Verse 7, and Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated, meaning lessened. His natural force was never lessened or taken away. How could he die if his natural force was never abated, never taken away? And the children of Israel wept for Moshe in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping in the morning for Moses were ended, and Joshua, or Quetzalcoatl, the son of Nun, which is the seed in Hebrew, was full of the spirit of wisdom. We're talking Amah. So the Ruach of Amah filled Quetzalcoatl, or Joshua, for Moses had laid his hands on him. My noggin. So all the miracles and pop offness Moses was doing, spreading the water so the tribe can cross on dry land, Joshua started doing the same doggone thing. He split the waters too with that staff, with that emerald scepter, that Prester scepter. Who is Prester John? Who is the priest king? Moses is the priest king. Joshua is the priest king. Quetzalcoatl is the priest king. David's the priest king. Abraham's a priest king. Isaac's a priest king. Jacob's a priest king. Can you dig it? Moses had laid his hands on him. That's why Joshua got this drop. This is why they're giving him Christ-like attributes. Because Moses laid his hands on Quetzalcoatl. And in our language, they would call Moses HaWah. HaWah. HaWah, H-U-A-M-A-C. The Mach is the mark. We'll get back on the Picts because the Picts use that title, the Mach title. Oh, we see it clearly, boss. Quetzalcoatl was the creator of life. Quetzalcoatl taught virtue. Quetzalcoatl was the greatest Lord of all. Right? So this is all what they're claiming as these attributes. But let's go. We see it, man. To further add to the entanglement, the Mesoamericans saw their rulers in some manners as avatars. Uh-oh. We're talking Kukulkan, we're talking Avatar 2. But you see, avatars of the spirit of God. Now we're going to talk dragon bodies and just connect all of this, man. Avatars could be, like they had an avatar where these jabronis was using avatar bodies, right? But avatar is also like when the creator uses you as a vessel or as a dragon, which is represents the vessel which the spirit is contained, right? And now we're talking about the manners as avatars of the spirits or gods. Come on, let's go. Oh, Quetzalcoatl had a long beard and the features of a white man. Cut the jabroni hijack. I'm not even going to address this. We're talking indigenous Mesoamerica. That's all I got to say. Copper color raises fat. That's all I got to say. Let's go. The Mesoamericans believe Quetzalcoatl will return just like JC. So you waiting for Quetzalcoatl or you waiting for Jesus? Although at first glance the meaning of the name Quetzalcoatl might strike one as a far cry from the concept of the Christian deity, it is quite possible that this depiction could have originated from an experience of the Israelite nation on their journey from Egypt, as related in both the Old Testament and the brass plates of Laban. After traveling for approximately 38 years in the desert, the Israelites received the last miracle of their exodus. One that carried with it a most important lesson and symbol as before the people rebelled and complained. And the people spake unto HaWah and against Moses, wherefore Why have you brought us out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? What do you think they'll do to you if you woke these Nagas up today and brought them into the wilderness, or, in off the grid? You brought a bunch of Nagas off the grid that's used to all these things. They're going to complain and complain and complain, man. Why you brought us out here, man? How we going to eat, man? For there's no bread. It's before they got that Leviathan food, right? So there's no bread, neither is there any water. Our soul loatheth in this life bread. And HaWah sent fiery serpents. Boy. Among the people, and this is Numbers 21. And they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. What does it mean to bite? Well, look up the definition of biting, and you might get stinging, which we've gotten before. And the stinging is referring to the fire that's on their ass, man. So they're getting bit. In other words, they're being stung with the fire of these dragons, Managi. And that's how much people of Israel died. Not because they were being bit by snakes on fire. You got to use common sense, but I know it ain't common. All right. Snakes on fire or fire-breathing dragons. You're going to have to choose your reality and tell me what makes sense here, man. We got to wakey. Snakes on fire bit you, or fire-breathing dragons was burning your ass up, which is why you had to pray to HaWah to get these fire-breathing dragons that were cursing you because of your transgressions up off your ass, man. Therefore, the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, our bad, sorry about that. We spoke against the Creator, against you, praying to the Creator that he take away these dragons from us, man. And Moses prayed for the people. And HaWah said unto Moses, make you a fiery dragon. Serpent, snake, or dragon? Did he make a snake, or did he make a dragon? Set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten or stung by the fire of this fiery dragon, when he looks upon it, shall live. Now, when you look upon it, you might get a fiery glance, right? Back to the etymology of dragon, the one with the deadly glance. When he looks upon it, shall live, not die. So first the serpents were cursing you, now they blessing you. First the fiery dragons were on your ass, now they giving you life. And Moses made a serpent of brass. Well, we're gonna look into this brass. A brass snake, a brass dragon, or a copper dragon. And put it on a pole, and it shall come to pass that if the serpent had bitten or stung any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass or copper, he lived. Numbers 21, verse 5 through 9. Numbers 21, verse 5 through 9. Yeah. But why did HaWah make the word fiery in his command, make you a fiery serpent? Although most Bible scholars concede that the serpents in this area were very colorful, like rainbows, like Quetzals, like Quetzalcoatls, even of a glowing fiery red color. There is some disagreement among them as to whether the original Hebrew word for fire referred to the snake's color or the venomous bite. This paper suggests that it referred to both attributes. Although it would be presumptuous to speculate on the Lord's actual reason for using the word fire, we can assume he wanted the serpent to be bold, bright, and colorful in order to draw attention to this powerful symbol. Although HaWah did not specify which material to use, so how'd they get brass? Moses constructed the serpent of brass, even though it would have been easier and faster to use cloth or wood. Brass may have seemed the best choice for portraying a fiery aspect, or with his magic, the same magic that separated the waters, the Jordan River, for you to cross on dry bed, that same magic, he literally created a copper dragon with his emerald staff, sapphire staff. Hijack don't see clearly. One could imagine the dramatic impact the gleaming brass serpent had on the suffering Israelites as Moses carried it aloft high above his head, the serpent flashing a myriad of piercing fiery colors, all like the rainbow, like the Quetzal. When the sun shone upon its numerous angles and crevices now, knowing that Moses and Joshua were rocking together, and knowing that Joshua could be Quetzalcoatl, the rainbow dragon, is the rainbow dragon the copper dragon, shining in all these colors? Did Moses literally conjure up Joshua to pop off, Quetzalcoatl to pop off and give him life? You know what I'm saying? Was HaWah saying, hey, Moses, go get Joshua and pop some life off, man? The fiery aspect. Yeah. One could imagine a gleaming brass serpent or copper dragon had on the suffering Israelites. Myriad of piercing fiery colors when the sun shone upon the numerous angles and crevices. All right, y'all. Such a spectacle would surely serve to remind the people of the fiery intensity of their snake bites. Stop it, man. They weren't bit by a snake. They had that fire from the dragon on their butts, right? While simultaneously displaying God's omnipotence, since as they looked upon it, they were healed. The dragon didn't curse them like Revelations taught. The dragon wasn't Satan, wasn't opposing them, because they were in code. They came for repentance. Interestingly, the brazen serpent, or the copper dragon, was kept by the Israelites for some 500 years, during which the time the sacred symbol was devalued into an object of popular worship in Judah. Devalued. So first it had the real value, and then as Nagas do, as Nagas fall, as Nagas stop seeing clearly, they started worshiping this sacred symbol, this dragon. They started worshiping it, which is not what we do. But there's a difference between devaluing something and giving it its value back. And the dragon, which is the fire, the water, that ether, that earth, is you, because man or woman, you are a dragon. So we're restoring the value that you have in you, and our creator that created us. We only worship our creator. We do it the right way. Until Hezekiah, a righteous king, right? He's a righteous king, break into pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made, for unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it. So by the time Hezekiah came in 2 Kings 18, that's when they had fell off and started making a graven image. And Hezekiah broke into pieces the image that they began to worship as a graven image, which wasn't a graven image when it was created, or else HaWah wouldn't have told Moses to create it. It wasn't a graven image at first. It became a graven image as the Nagas fell off. Even though the Israelites were HaWah's chosen people, they having lost sight, which means they stopped seeing clearly. They stopped having that dragonfly perspective, the one with the deadly glance. They stopped seeing clearly, my nigga. So when HaWah say don't make no images, nothing, on earth, below earth, all this, it's not so much like don't draw no pictures of anything. It's don't make no graven images. Don't worship this stuff. Don't start making sculptures and carrying it everywhere you go as an idol, right? Because that's the harlotry from Hosea 3. And this goes even deeper, man. Oh, yeah. This goes even deeper. I'm gonna start right there, but this goes even deeper. For now, I just want to talk copper for the dismount. Copper, bronze, brass. Say it with me. Copper, bronze, brass. Got it. The word Nahoshet or Nahash, right, used in the biblical text may designate the element copper as well as two of its alloys, bronze and brass. Khan, you see clearly? Do you see clearly? The element is the copper. That's the natural element. HaWah wouldn't tell Moses to make an alloy. Were they even rocking with alloys back then? Just do the science. HaWah, to give life to his chosen, wouldn't tell him to make no alloy, bronze and brass. He would tell him to be elemental and rock with the copper. We're talking copper colored nagas found here. Copper colored cons. In this article, we will study the biblical text and attempt to learn if one can make reasonable scientific conclusions as to which translation is most correct in context. Con. I'm all about the context, con. This is out the jbqnew.jewishbible.org. Let's go. Background and examples. We're going quick for the dismount. Oh, best dismount of all time. I promise you. Let's get it. Copper is frequently mentioned in the biblical text, usually the third element after gold and silver. Israel is described as a place where copper can be mined. Huh? It says Deuteronomy 8, verse 9. Deuteronomy 34. Moses lays his hands on Quetzalcoatl, on Joshua. Deuteronomy 8. Let's kick it on verse 7. For a while your power brings you into good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths, springing forth in the valleys. That fountain, that primary water, Yosef, take the wheel. That mem sauce. A land of wheat and barley, and vines and fig trees and pomegranates. Pomegranate in Hebrew is what? Hebrew word of the day. Rimon, Rimon, is pomegranate in Hebrew. Rimon is what they turn to Roman. So when they take the Roman title, they're talking pomegranate, they're talking promised land, because they're after Jerusalem. A land of olive trees and honey. A land wherein Thou shalt eat bread without scarceness. Thou shalt not lack anything in it. A land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou may dig brass. Whoa, we talking brass or we talking copper? Element copper. So Hasharah, Israel, is described as a place where copper can be mined. That's a big 1-2 right there, man. That's a big Eleazar, man. Some of the mines were functioning in King Solomon's time period. 1 Kings 7, Job 28 talks about miners. Iron is taken out the earth and copper is smelted from the rock. Copper was inexpensive and abundant in the time period of the Judean king. We're talking Judah. And remember, in the old maps, Arizona don't even exist. It's just called Udall territory or Judah. So Arizona is Judah. Colorado is Judah. New Mexico is Judah. California, Nevada, Judah. Utah, Judah. Israel is described as a place where copper can be mined. So I got to thinking, what they saying about the copper in Israel, the copper mines. Clear my throat for the dismount. Hey Google, what about the copper mines in Israel? What a dismount. Okay, copper mines may have inspired legends about King Solomon. Copper mines. So they're gonna go to specific copper mines in so-called Israel. Look how funny this is, right? So copper mines in Israel, they go to the Negev Desert, ancient sites that may have inspired the legend of King Solomon. May have inspired. May have inspired. But they were abandoned 3,000 years ago when people there used up all the plants to make charcoal for smelting. Come on, Paul. So the copper mines in Israel, the reason why we don't hear about them today is because they were abandoned 3,000 years ago, boss. Y'all believe that? You believe that this place in Israel today was so known for copper 3,000 years ago? Is that what this scripture's saying in Deuteronomy 8? That HaWah gonna bring you into a good land, my nigga. You're gonna get brought into a good land where what? A land whose stones are iron and out of whose hills you can dig up all the copper you want. They say brass though, right? Let's go. Dang, I said, man. So Israel just got this one spot that was abandoned for the last 3,000 years, and they only ran out because they used up all the plants to make charcoal for smelting. Come on, man. And you see, you're going to Timna Valley, the area is rich in copper ore and has been mined since the 5th millennium BCE. There's controversy whether the mines were active during the biblical. Alright, so there's controversy. Keyword. Keyword, my nigga. Controversy, right? I mean, some people don't buy this stuff. Timna, copper mining site. Southern Negev, Israel, north of Eli. Timna. That's all they're going to point to in Israel? That's all you're going to point to is one copper mine? Come on, man. You gotta make this make sense. Copper mines. King Solomon's mines were abandoned and became a desert wasteland. Copper mines may have inspired legends about King Solomon. Huh? Back in the Negev Desert, right? We can't get away from it. Abandoned 3,000 years ago. The researchers studied fragments of charcoal from ancient furnaces in the Thames Valley where prosperous copper industry thrived 11th to 9th century BC. So they got to go back 3,000 years to connect anything in Israel today. That's all we saying. Watch this. Watch this. Copper. We just talking copper? Come on, boss. What's the global data? Let's go to globaldata.com. Let's talk about copper mines in the United States. Just go to 2021. You got the Morenci mine in Arizona. Now, to get copper in Israel today, you got to go back 3,000 years to the cities. You think the land that HaWah is about in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 9. The good land. For HaWah, your power brings you into good land. Brooks of water, fountains of that pure water, that mem sauce, milk and honey, whose hills you may dig copper out the hills, not just out of one mine called the Tim mine in the Nevi desert. And now suddenly this desert is a wasteland. You think HaWah has made one copper mine a wasteland for 3,000 years? Or is there so much copper in this good land that Managa, they still mining it to this day, boss? Because they just found you here, boss. Because you the copper colored races found here. We're talking copper. So this Morenci mine in Arizona was the largest copper producing mine in the United States. Ain't nobody producing copper like us. This is the good land, producing approximately 397.5 thousand tons of copper, an estimated 169.5 million metric tons per annum of run of mine ROM in 2021. That was in 1 year. 169, call it 170 million metric tons in 2021. They ain't produced copper in Israel today in over 3,000 years. Timna, Negev Valley has been abandoned. It's a wasteland for 3,000 years. It's a wasteland. Oh, but it was once a super producer, and that links this land to the promised land. No, it doesn't. You're giving us hijack charcoal. You ran out of charcoal, so you couldn't get no more copper, right? But anciently, 3,000 years ago, when the copper industry attempted was at its peak, stop the play. Stop the play. Stop the cappery. In 2021, 169.5 million metric tons came out of this one mine in Arizona. Just one mine. One mine. Not all of Arizona. One copper mine. You ain't got copper in 3,000 years? Look at the Safford mine located in Arizona was the third largest mine. The Sierrita mine located in Arizona was fourth largest. Look how many mines are popping off copper to this day in Arizona, man. The Baghdad mine, what? In Arizona? This Baghdad? Come on, man. Body bag. Safford mine, Sierrita mine, Baghdad mine had an estimated RO in production 39.89 mmTPA. You do the math. I guarantee that's a lot. The five largest copper mines, Marienza mine. We're gonna look at this Kennecott copper project, Safford mine, Sierrita mine, Baghdad mine, cumulatively produce approximately 846.3 thousand tons of copper in 2021. Oh, but that's just Arizona, boss. That's just Arizona or Judah or Utah. You got the Cliff Mine. You look at it up. You got the Eagle Mine, Adventure Mining Company. This is in Michigan. Michigan been popping off with copper mines. Copper mining in Michigan became an important industry in 19th to early 20th century. They still mining copper. Native American. They finding artifacts. They're mining copper in Michigan. They're mining copper in Arizona, in Utah. They ain't found copper in Israel in 3,000 years. Right? Okay. Go Mohawk, Michigan. You're going to get the Cliff Mine. Tons of rocks and ruins of a copper mine. Greatest historic copper mine. Greatest historic copper mine. But the copper is supposed to connect to Israel. You would know Israel by its copper, huh? Right. You would know Israel by its copper. Israel is described as a place where copper can be mined. Copper and its alloys were used to construct chains, pillars, the famous Bronze Sea or Copper Sea, other sacred vessels, Exodus 26. The most common alloys are bronze, which is made of copper and tin. Is that what they were doing? Is that what HaWah had Moses doing to create the brazen serpent, the brass serpent? He said, mix some tin and copper. Does HaWah like to mix things, or does HaWah like pure elements? Use your common sense, right? And brass, which is composed of copper and zinc, like leavened bread. You know, we should eat unleavened bread without the mixing sometimes, right? Feast days, right? Hey, about to have a great Baruch Pasak again. Let's go. It's a light year, huh? Bronze is easier to work with, more pliable, and the melting temperature is somewhat lower than that of pure copper, but we're talking dragons. Although ancient Israelites were familiar with some metallurgic techniques, the larger pieces in the temple may have been made under Phoenician supervision. Like a deified Phoenician Naga. Let's go. Kibra Ibra flow. Quivera. Artifacts have been found which can shed light on the composition of some of the well-known Nahash objects mentioned in biblical texts. In the tabernacle, the laver was made of the Naheshet, generally translated as bronze. Generally translated as bronze. Make you a bronze snake? Bronze serpent? Nah. Generally translated as bronze. Copper dragon. Let's go. So Israel's known by its copper. All right, man, I'm out of here, man. Drop gotta sleep sometime. All right, so Israel is described as a place where copper can be mined. They turn it into, oh yeah, it's Timna, but not for 3,000 years, you know. Yeah, it's been a wasteland. It's been a wasteland, boss. It's been a wasteland for 3,000 years. But maybe they inspired the legends of King Solomon. Stop it, IJ. Stop with the capital. Alone, at least what they're reporting, over 846,000 tons of copper popped off in 2021 alone. What's popping out of Michigan? Oh yeah, the Keweenaw Point is the copper district, man. Second largest producer of copper in the world, Michigan. This copper mine is the second largest producer of copper in the world, boss. Birdman hand rub. Israel's known by its copper. Michigan, or this one copper mine, is the second largest producer of copper in the world. Come on. Arizona, Michigan, greatest historic copper mine popping off. All these copper mines are popping off in America, bro. Land of milk and honey, right? To this day. You got the Kennecott mine I told you we'll talk about. Oh yeah, we in Utah. Copper mines in Utah. Yep. Okay. Lastly, man, I'm just gonna go out like this, man. I'm gonna get some of this serpents of wisdom and get some of that wisdom in Proverbs 8. You know, repetition breaks the spell. Halal HaWah. They talking Asia. Love to the fam, God, where, and the drop, chatter, chat. All my family popping off in the drop chatter box. Cathay, they say. We got Cathay right here in India Superior. Tartary, they say. That's crazy because they call this Tartary. They talking Asia or Naga. We talking Asia. Wow. Get my tea. I'm done talking. It's been 3 hours, man. All right, so forgive. They talking Cathay. We talking Cathay. Asia. Florida. I said Florida. Bro. America. Not South America. America. North America? Does the continent of North America exist? Or is it simply Asia Major? They found you in Asia Major, they found you in India Superior. That describes that you're ancient, man. More ancient because this land popped out the waters first from the flood. 1531. They talking Tartary, we talking Grand Tartary, China. Mexico, South America, or simply America. They talking Tartary boss. We talking Tartary boss. Tatari, Asia, the Great Desert, the wilderness, huh? They talking copper. We talking copper. They want to bring you to Israel's Negev Desert that's been abandoned for 3,000 years as their source of copper. We brought you to Arizona. 846,000 tons just came out of there in 2021. This ain't no 3,000 years ago. This is abundant land. This is fervent, fruitful land. Elemental land. Did Moses make a copper dragon or a brass snake that bit the people, stung the people, gave these people life? They say brass, right? Okay. Burning ones. Sometimes you just gotta keep the water flowing. And just know HaWah will reveal and give you that breath. Say no competition, my noggin. You ain't gotta compete with these jabronis. Just gotta surf the wave. They say God don't like ugly. HaWah don't like niggas that purposely and continuously ignore the call, the frequency of righteousness. If you're called to be a code keeper, be a code keeper. If you're called to be the you're called to be the opposition, and you will be the footstool. HaWah beats to pieces the adversaries of Khan David. Is that what you want? I said, is that what you want or not? You better choose up. We all gotta choose up. Let's get it quickly. Like verse 8, make you a fiery dragon, set it upon a pole. It shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he sees it, shall live. Gotcha. You got life. Wah sent you life. And you wouldn't call it Satan. You wouldn't call it an adversary, an op. It gave you life. When you worshipped a graven image of this copper dragon, that's when you got more death. But for the time being, when it was created, it wasn't graven, it was life. Lexicon. What you got? What you got, Lexicon? Copper bottle. It's all good. We're cruising in. It's a beautiful day. Looking forward to new life, new abundance. They call spring. I want that natural spring. I want the water spring. You know what I'm saying? That water. Oh, the new international version. The Lord said to Moses, make and put it on a pole. Damn, this is what the Christians are reading, man. This is what the Christians are reading. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live. Damn. Ain't that so? The people came to Moses and said, we have sinned by speaking against HaWah and against you. Intercede with HaWah so he can take these snakes away from us. We talking dragons, we talking snakes. Who is bitten, right? Yeah, we're in that lexicon. Strong's Concordance 5391A, to bite. Hanashuk. 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 Okay. To bite. Everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, he will live. Nashak. To bite. Okay. Hanashak. They're gonna stop it right there. Bite bitten. Yeah, man, jabronis. You've been surfing the wave. You've seen us before. Go to the same page, and all these other definitions come up: bite, sting,